our gossip off.
We back on the news, baby.
Do you want to get through your Sri Lanka if it's not funny, and then I'll get to the funnies?
Sri Lanka's not really funny. It's just information.
So let's get to the information.
With a pose. All right, so this week on News You Can Use, we're going to talk about Sri Lanka. So there's a lot of videos y'all may have seen going around about the Indian rupee. You heard anything about that, Mo?
Indian rupee?
Yeah, the rupee, the currency from India.
What are they devaluing it?
It's a movie?
There's no more anymore?
Nah, it's not.
Oh, you said the rumor.
The
rupee, R-U-P-E.
Yeah, but what about it? There's a movie going around?
No. So what's going on? I guess there's a lot of there's information going on about like, oh, they're taking away they're taking away money from them. They're taking away the cash from them, so that way, I guess this somehow is going to equate to the U.S. having to switch to cashless, a cashless economy. But the real information is because Sri Lanka's government actually put out some information to kind of, well, not the government, but the central bank put out some information to kind of clear shit up. But last week, the Sri Lankan central bank decided that the Indian rupee, is no longer going to be used in local or domestic transactions, right? So if you're doing something, foreign or whatever, that's fine. But for domestic, it's not supposed to be used, right? Their actual currency is the Lankan rupee. So they also have a rupee too, but it's called the Lankan rupee. But that's for their specific country. That makes sense, right? If you want to strengthen the U.S. dollar, you would rather have us using U.S. dollars in America circulating versus using British pounds and just converting that a bunch, right? It makes more sense doing it that way. That's kind of what they're saying. They're saying it's due to Sri Lanka is trying to make sure that their issues with INR, which is the Indian rupee, doesn't really happen with transactions and blah, 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 a bunch of boring shit. But
yeah, dude, fuck.
This is information and this is news you can actually use because the Lankan rupee has actually been gaining strength against the U.S. dollar. So before it took 360 rupees in order to equate to a U.S. dollar, but now that number's going down, right? Which means the value of that is going up, right? And that was like 3 months ago. So it's still strengthening itself against the U.S. dollar. But do y'all think there's any validity to the paranoia of, eventually getting to a cashless system because everybody's reorganizing because it has nothing to do with the dollars or the paper or, anything with the U.S. dollar. But in a sense, it means they're kind of reorganizing their finances. Maybe they know something's coming, or maybe know that, maybe everybody's going cashless now because one, cash has a bunch of disease and it carries shit and it's not able to track, so we're not going to be able to move to the next step, right?
Yeah, maybe, but then that'll just be like, they'll still do it on the black market, but for everyone, they're just
black market cash is still going to work.
No,
cash,
no.
It's not going to work.
You don't use cash on the black market.
You don't?
No.
You use crypto, so they can't track you. But no. But even if you're going somewhere in person, you're trying to do a drug deal, right? Say if I'm trying to buy some shit off you and I use cash, and if the whole economy is just digital, then your cash is not going to work anywhere else except underground, which means that everybody doing illegal shit is only going to be using cash, and the cash is not going to be valued anywhere outside of illegal shit. So you'd have to have like a wallet of just money, cash, and shit for just illegal shit, and then you'd have to have your digital shit for.
That's just fucking stupid. All of it's
in a controlled society. That's what they want.
I'm gonna get to that later, but go ahead. What do they want?
No, in a controlled society, they want all control. For example, I saw a video about somebody speeding in China. They're so far ahead of us, it's crazy, but they just are so good at keeping quiet. Americans want to tell everybody what they got going on. But if they speed, it deducts points from their driving record, which affects your insurance, so forth and so forth.
It deducts points or it adds points? So they have a different system, right? Because you add
maybe
points
it adds points.
Yeah,
I don't know.
However, just to get bad, you do a lot of bad driving.
Right.
And then if you run a red light, it doesn't send you a fucking ticket saying, hey, we caught you. It just takes from your digital currency that you have signed up with the government. Just like the government wanted to stop a lot of, what were they stopping recently? They stopped something and then they started their own coin. I guess they shut down like Bitcoin or something like that and made it like kind of halt and like a lot of regulations just for them to just to start up their own coin, and then it kind of failed, so they like erased that whole story. So no, that's Elon. But like the U.S. it was like a Cash App or the U.S. something like they had their own shit.
Hold on. Speaking of this and Elon, because it kind of bridges right here. Did you see that video that came out? I guess it's been surfacing recently, but it was about like from 2000 or 99 or something like that. And Elon was saying something about, X.com.
Right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna turn X.com for what it was gonna be like. It was supposed to be something else first, but like it seems like that's a placeholder, right? Like a placeholder for him to.
So think about it like this. Like one point on the last topic. Do you know how crazy it is to remove a fucking currency from a country?
Domestically.
Not only that, but as big as India?
No.
They're not removing it from him.
You're removing
but
the
it
Indian
dropped,
rupee.
what, 86% or something like that? Remember we talked about it the other day? They removed like 50 and 100 or something like that. So like all that shit just cut. Like, and with 4 hours notice to people. And India is way bigger than U.S. Yeah. So it's crazy. But going to this. With that X.com little video, crazy. Cool. Speaking into existence. With his family and who he is and his mastermind plan to make sure his dad is happy because no matter what he does, his dad is disappointed. So it has nothing to do with actual excelling. It has to do with make sure his dad is like, all right, you are better than me. Like, it's a whole fucking competition with him. And that's how some kids are, you know? Yeah. And this X.com, you said it's like a placeholder. So, like, yeah, he wanted X.com. And then when you spend $44 billion on a platform with one of the largest servers that's going on right now, most visited websites that you could think of on the fucking internet with trillions of websites. Think of it how like people with social media pages. Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, I'm trying to sell this. Do y'all want to buy it for $5,000? I have 250,000 followers. Mm-hmm. He bought Twitter with billions of people, or at least hundreds of millions registered. And he bought that. He didn't have to buy a little. Like, now he has a server with all these people's information to go to X.com. And do, yeah. As soon as nobody even knew X.com was going to be a thing. And then once he said, hey, if the logo's good enough, I'll drop tonight. Wait, what? What's happening here? And then he bought the fucking one X page on Twitter. Yep. He said, I'll buy it from you. Guess what he did? Took it, didn't buy it. He didn't want to sell it, so he just took it. Mm-hmm. And that guy's like, hey, they didn't buy it from me. They offered me a tour of Twitter or of X. And guess what? All your fucking phones have a new logo. And if it doesn't have a new logo, people are selling their iPhones for $7,000 on eBay with the old Twitter logo on it. How the cracked phone, I'm assuming. I'm
about to say, how is it going to stay there if it just doesn't update?
But the answer to your question is yes. This was a placeholder for so long, and now he has everybody's everything, thoughts, ideas. You know what he can do with an AI program if he just put AI into everybody's fucking Twitter tweets?
You know they got Twitter for
thoughts, everything. Elon is... People want to, like we talked about on the last pod with the thread shit, Elon is a fucking mastermind because of what he wants in his head to beat out his father. Has nothing to do with us. So he don't care about what's actually going on. As long as he gets his shit, he's going to get it up.
Some daddy issues, man. What the fuck?
Okay, so are these connecting dots or some shit? Like,
I mean, I kind of just said it.
I mean, I'm saying the Twitter thing plus the currency that's changing going to digital. So, but this is the thing. This is the thing I was going to ask you. My bad. But you can go ahead.
No, you good.
I was going to ask a question like, this is kind of what we want, right? This is what we want, right? We want to go away from cash as a society. Yes, you want to not be tracked with what your transactions are, but that's if you're doing shit that you don't want people to know about, or you don't want people to try to sell you products on. Man, that's how our society is supposed to work. It's supposed to be able to circulate the money in order to advance, right? And once we advance, we're supposed to be able to go away from the primitive shit. So the primitive shit is handing you money and expecting to get some physical, have to walk around with me money.
Yeah, like a little blink, like the Apple Pay shit and stuff like that. Like I saw the new iPhones or whatever, you could put the iPhones up to each other and exchange just contacts like that real quick. Just blink. But like, they'll be doing that. It'd be like Apple Pay or Apple or whatever for everything. But like, dude, if that shit goes offline, man, we're fucked. And we're all like, just like, well, how are you supposed to like,
if it goes offline, if it goes offline, what do you have
in your possession, actually?
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. What's your possession?
So that again, back to the fucking
whoever can defend their fucking house.
History repeating itself. How do we trade back then? We had nickel, gold, silver, copper, like
physical things,
cows.
So wait. So that's the thing.
Can't wait to buy cows.
If the internet shuts down and all of our digital money that's in our bank accounts is lost, why do you think people are going to be able to use the dollar and value the dollar the same? It's going to be fucked up. It's not going to be the same way. Because how are the rich people that never really have cash on them going to have any money? They're not going to let that shit go. They're still connected to people, which is the more actual valuable thing than the actual money is the connection. So if they're connected to all the people that run the government's going to say, oh, fuck that. We all lost our money too. We're about to fucking make a new government and that cash is not about to be accepted.
History repeating itself. If we lose as a world, if we lose internet for 8 hours, we are fucked for 10 years. That 8 hours of no internet, no transactions, no bills, no this is going to shut everything down for years to come. So imagine the asteroid that they're saying. Exactly. Imagine the asteroid or whatever that they're about to say, the solar flares, right? Yeah. They're saying weeks. I said 8 hours. They're saying weeks of no internet. We are going to trade sheep again.
People will die.
There's going to be a lot of
I'm moving into a big house.
People killing each other.
I'm moving into a big house.
No, you're going to try to take over a big house.
A bunch of windows so the moonlight will come in if I have no electricity.
Internet, man. There's no surveillance cameras.
I would love it. I don't got to talk to nobody.
You can also get murdered easily just for whatever you have, bro. And you can't fight. So how are you gonna fight? There was no internet and no able to report the information. Yes, we can use the phone lines, but who has a landline?
Bro, before there was nobody just came and just shot you. If nobody has internet, like at the first maybe couple months, people are gonna go crazy. So they're gonna start, and then you're gonna be like, all right, we're not going to Portland because they still have the whole city burning. I'm going to go way out here to Texas where there's so much land.
And guns. Where people
I could go to like King Ranch.
People shoot each other nowadays.
Like I can hang out with some animals, big house. They probably got like some
with the ability
of and 4-wheelers.
But that's the thing. We had no internet before, but we still had a system in place in video cameras, but we still had a system in place that still was able to hold you accountable for shit. Nowadays, if the internet were to go off, the shit that we've built up in order to have a foundation that's now built off the internet to make it easier for us to use, all that shit's gone. So a lot of the fucking records, a lot of the procedures, a lot of the navigation in the cop cars that allow them to, some of these niggas don't know how to use maps.
Unless it's physical. And then you start over, like I said. But it's a what if, bro. Everybody could talk about that for fucking hours.
Yeah, we're gonna go into an ideal world later, but
we're gonna loosen something up, man. We're gonna loosen something. Y'all fucking crazy. Y'all.
You said you want to laugh at it. Yeah, let's do some music real quick. Music.
All right, you know we got something coming out. I know y'all heard it before, and you're gonna hear it again one more time. We got Root of All Evil, Mo Benji.
Oh yeah.
Kurt Leach.
We dropping soon, y'all. I swear to God.
We got the cover art.
Hey.